Count how many times you will eat today. Probably 3. Breakfast when you wake up, lunch in the middle, dinner at the end, maybe something in between. And it does not feel like a choice, does it? It feels like a fact, like the days of the week, like gravity. So here is a question worth asking. Who decided that? Most people assume it goes all the way back, that humans have always eaten morning, noon, and night because a body simply needs feeding on a schedule. But the real answer is far stranger than that. 3 meals a day is an invention, and a recent one. For almost the entire human story, nobody ate like this. The pattern you follow without thinking was shaped by a factory clock and finished off by an advertising campaign. Start with what your ancestors actually did. There is no such thing as a hunter-gatherer breakfast. There is no word for it, because there is no slot in the day where it belongs. The Hadza of Tanzania still forage the old way, and researchers have watched them closely for years. The evolutionary anthropologist Herman Pontzer has spent much of his career measuring exactly how they live and how their bodies burn energy. And what he describes is not a schedule at all. They eat while they gather. A handful of berries goes straight into the mouth while picking. A tuber gets dug up, roasted at the edge of camp, and shared right there. Someone finds honey, the single most prized food they have, and it is eaten on the spot in the tree. Food is not stored up for a designated hour. It is eaten when it appears. And then, in the evening, something different happens. Whatever the hunters brought back comes into camp, and the whole group eats together around the fire. One real meal. Shared. Social. And usually the biggest thing that happens all day. So the ancient pattern is not 3 neat meals. It is constant grazing and one communal feast at night. Now here is the part that matters more. Some days there was no feast. The hunt failed. That happens more often than you would think. Most hunts do. And on those days, your ancestors simply ate less, or ate late, or ate almost nothing at all and waited. Feast, then thin, then feast again. That is the rhythm your body was actually built inside. Not a timetable, a gamble. And a body built for a gamble is a body that can go a long stretch on empty without breaking. Yours still can. So when did the schedule appear? Slowly. And it was never really about your body. For most of recorded history, one main meal a day was normal, and eating early was suspect. Roman writers treated a real morning meal as a mark of gluttony, a lack of self-control. The civilized thing was to wait and to eat one proper meal in the afternoon or evening. Not because it was healthier, because eating all day looked greedy. Then came work you could not set your own hours around. The historian Abigail Carroll traced how the modern meal took shape, and the pattern is clear. When people worked on their own land, they ate when the work paused. When people started working in factories and offices, someone else decided when the work paused. A shift starts at a fixed hour, so you eat before it. The shift has a set break, so that break becomes lunch. The shift ends, so that becomes dinner. The clock did not adapt to your hunger. Your hunger was reorganized around the clock. And then, in the 1920s, the last piece was bolted on. And this part is almost too perfect. A man named Edward Bernays was hired by a company that sold bacon. Bernays was the nephew of Sigmund Freud, and he essentially invented modern public relations. He did not run an ad saying bacon tastes good. He did something cleverer. He surveyed thousands of physicians, asking whether a hearty breakfast was better than a light one. Enough of them said yes, and then he published that. Doctors recommend a hearty breakfast, alongside a helpful suggestion of what a hearty breakfast might look like. Bacon and eggs. It worked spectacularly. And around the same time, the young cereal industry was pushing its own version of the same message, until a sentence took hold that almost everyone alive today has heard. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That line is not a finding. It is not something a laboratory discovered about the human body. It is marketing. It sold cereal, and it sold bacon, and it quietly became something people believe about their own biology. So the schedule came from work, and the belief came from selling. Now look at what your body is doing inside all of that. The biologist Satchin Panda studies the daily clock that runs in nearly every cell you have, and his team did something simple. They asked people to log every single thing they ate with a timestamp. Not the calories, just the clock. Most people, it turned out, were eating across a window of about 15 hours. First bite, not long after waking. Last bite, not long before sleep. Something entering the system almost the entire time they were awake. And the neuroscientist Mark Mattson has spent decades on what happens in the hours when nothing is coming in. When the fuel from your last meal runs down, the body switches over and starts burning something else. And that switch is not just an empty holding pattern. It is when a lot of the maintenance work gets done. Your ancestors crossed that line every single day without ever choosing to. Not as a discipline, not as a plan. Just because food came when it came. You may almost never cross it. That is the strange thing about the modern day. Nobody planned it. There was no decision, no announcement. A factory needed fixed hours. A bacon company needed a story. And between them, they built a pattern so ordinary that you follow it without once asking where it came from. Your ancestors did not eat 3 meals a day. They ate when there was food, and they went without when there wasn't. And their bodies were shaped across 300,000 years by exactly that unevenness. You inherited that body. You just inherited somebody else's timetable to run it on. So tomorrow, when you eat at 8, and at 1, and at 7, notice that not one of those times came from you, not from your hunger, not from your ancestors. They came from a clock somebody else built, and a story somebody else sold.